This tutorial is about how to build a knowledge base on the fly and use that knowledge base to process text that comes later. This is a very powerful aspect of the NLP++ language. We're going to be looking at anaphora today. Anaphora is when you have something like pronouns that, like he or she, that refers to something that came before. It can be also phrases like the company, the event. So we're going to take a look at this text and this analyzer at a high level, an overview of it, so you get an idea of the design. So let's take a look at the text specifically. Fred is a rocket scientist. Sally is a lawyer. She is married to Fred. He is 55 years old. She is 57 years old. When a person is done reading this text, what they understand is that there are two people, they have ages, they have professions, and that one is married to the other. So when we process this with our analyzer, we should come up with that same knowledge. If we do, then we can say this is an intelligent program that understands this text. So let's run the analyzer, and we're going to take a look at the output of the brain or the conceptual grammar or the knowledge base. If you come down here to VisualText and into the output files, you can see a little head here, and you can click on it. It says display KB files. We're going to look at the final one because this is just an overview. So let's take a look to see if this program has understood this text correctly. Well, we have a place in the brain for persons, and we have a person here, and we have two people, Fred and Sally. So that's good. Fred is, the gender is male. He is a rocket scientist. His spouse points to Sally in the brain. So yeah, the concept, person Sally, and that's this concept. Again, you can have concepts point to other concepts, and his age is 55. Sally is female, is a lawyer. Her spouse is Fred, points to Fred here, and her age is 57. So from this text, we've gotten two people in our long-term memory. We'll call this our long-term memory in our KB of Fred and Sally and all the attributes of those two people. Down here, though, however, we have what I call a short-term memory in the KB, in the brain, and that's called sentences. And under the sentences, we have a place for sentence 1, sentence 2, sentence 3, sentence 4, and sentence 5. And because we're looking to try to resolve this anaphora or these pronouns, we're only going to keep track of two things, people's names and pronouns, because the pronouns will refer to names that came earlier. So that's what the design of this analyzer does. So you can see in the first sentence, we have Fred. We know Fred's a noun, there's a male, and it points to, because it is a name of a person, it points to the long-term person Fred. We have Sally in the second sentence, so we now keep track of Sally. Sally is a noun, female, and points to Sally in our long-term memory. Sentence 3 has the word she. She is a pronoun, it's a female, but this pronoun is pointing to not back to the brain, because she refers to something in this text that we're reading. Because she, if we get that with no context or text at all, we'd have no idea who that refers to. But since this is a text and it says she is married to Fred, well, we go looking back. We have in our functions, we're looking back in this bookkeeping device to find where the first real female is. So we go back to sentence 2, we see that we find a female, Sally, who's a real person. And so then we figure out that person, that she refers to the person in sentence 2 called Sally. Fred is in the third sentence, but we already know that he refers to a person, so we don't have to worry about that. But now in sentence 4, we have he. So we got to look back and find in the previous sentence a noun male that points to a real person. In fact, we find that because he is male, so that matches the gender, and we're looking for a person. So we find that this he then refers to Fred in sentence 3. Finally, in sentence 5, we have she. It is a pronoun. It's a female. So we're going to look back in the sentence 4. Is there a real female person? No. In sentence 3, is there a real female person? Fred is not. She is not. That's a pronoun. That's not a real person. So we have to go back to sentence 2. Oh, there is one. There's Sally. She is a real person. So she then gets labeled and linked to the sentence two, Sally in sentence two. So this is how we use the bookkeeping devices to figure out where these pronouns point to and how they relate to finally each person.